The St. Andrews South Police Division says a deliberate strategy focused on investigations, teamwork and community partnership has boosted its crime clearance rate to 144% this year. Commanding Officer, Senior Superintendent of Police Damion Manderson says the improvement reflects years of investment in training and leadership. The division recorded a dramatic turnaround in solving criminal cases and improving from a clearance rate of 16% in 2021 and 2022 to 144% this year. The commanding officer says the results are being driven by a coordinated approach.
Philosophy again, and it's deliberate, not by accident, that it's an all-up approach that we take when it comes down to investigation and come down to crime solving, where operations work with our community safety team, with our administration, with every single element to come together to ensure that we reap the success that we ought to. And so currently, with some 144% clear up for 2026.
SSP Manderson also said the division has also strengthened its investigative capacity by investing in officer development and ensuring experienced detectives mentor younger investigators. He adds that leadership remains directly involved in major investigations to reinforce accountability and improve outcomes.
It's deliberate in terms of one, training investigating officers, preparing them and having them properly mentored, moving them from just mere constables to detective constables, and promotions, a big one in terms of motivation for police officers. But it's a joint approach that we have taken to ensure that we support them. As commanding officer, I sit in case reviews.
The commanding officer says maintaining public trust and close collaboration with communities will remain central to the division's strategy as it works to sustain its crime-fighting gains. A man was fatally shot at a bar in Top Greenvale, Mandeville, Manchester last night. He has been identified as Agassar Martin. Another man was also grazed by a bullet. Now, the circumstances surrounding the fatal shooting have not yet been ascertained, but police say Martin was known to them. Investigators say he was one of 3 men taken into custody in connection with the 27 stabbing death of 40-year-old William Granville outside the Players nightclub in Nashville, Mandeville. According to the police, Martin had been reporting to them in relation to that murder investigation up until the time of his death. Now, investigation into the shooting is ongoing. And it's now time for a break. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett believes greater emphasis must be placed on community tourism to ensure that much of the sector's earnings remain in the Jamaican economy. Details in this report.
The future of Jamaica's tourism and its ability to achieve its ambition to welcome 10 million visitors over the next decade will depend heavily on community tourism. That's according to Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett. Speaking at the recently concluded Tourism Resilience Symposium, Mr. Bartlett said Jamaica will not achieve its goal of generating US $10 billion in annual tourism earnings by relying solely on the construction of 20,000 new hotel rooms.
Tourism does not begin at the hotel gate. Tourism begins in the communities. So the hotel may accommodate the visitors, but the community gives the visitors Jamaica.
It is now time for the Business Minute.
Investors are continuing to pour money into shares of Trans-Jamaica Highway, with market analysts pointing to the company's improving financial performance and the prospect of higher toll rates as key drivers of demand. Senior investment advisor at Mayberry Investment, Christopher Thomas, says the highway operator's monopoly position and steady revenue growth have made the stock increasingly attractive to investors. He said the proposed increase in toll rates is expected to translate into higher profits for the company because motorists have few practical alternatives to using the toll roads. Further afield, President Trump has imposed a new 50% tariff on Canada, threatening a trade war with the United States' second top trading partner. Trump is invoking a 1930 trade law to impose the tariff. The law allows a president to tariff goods up to 50% without congressional approval when a country is believed to be discriminating against American goods. However, the law has never been applied this way. It would apply to certain Canadian goods like electric equipment and machinery, but imports like critical minerals, fish, and energy products would be excluded. The tariffs won't take effect until 30 days. And that's the end of the Business Minute. I'm Raquel Porto.
Thank you, Raquel. Time now for the top stories from around the world.
In the region, the international community is backing Haiti's push to hold long-delayed elections as a key step toward restoring democracy and stability. Speaking at the UN Security Council, the United States, United Kingdom, France, Russia, and China all voiced support for the electoral process despite ongoing insecurity. Haitian officials hope voting can begin before the end of 2026, saying 7 of the country's 10 departments are now ready for electoral activities. And on the international scene, officials in Florida are closely monitoring Tropical Storm Bertha as it moves across the Gulf of Mexico. The second named storm of the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season is expected to bring heavy rain, gusty winds, and the risk of coastal flooding to parts of the Gulf Coast from Florida to Texas. Emergency officials remain on standby, while residents in parts of Mississippi are taking precautions as they continue recovering from June's devastating floods. Dry air has so far limited the storm's intensification. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Aaliyah Bryant.
Thank you, Aaliyah. And we now head to our final break. When we come back, we'll have your Midday Sports Report.